I might need to leave for 1 to 2 minutes at one point to cook dinner.
Oh my lord!
Sausage. I do, just a microwave a sausage.
You're going to microwave a sausage?
Yeah, hot dogs.
Really?
It will literally actually take that long.
Oh, disgusting.
I know.
Oh, right. Should we do a podcast then?
Wait.
Do it.
Hello and welcome to FRUK Unwrapped, the Food Review UK podcast. My name is Stuart and I am here tonight with, well, first of all, I think we'll get it out of the way straight away tonight. Nathan Peterson is once again not with us. He's asked me not to give too many details away, but with the continued absence of Nathan Peterson due to a personal and life-changing elective surgery, I'm joined by the man who gives you 100% of your RDA of irritation, comedy-free but same bad taste, no longer available in sharing packs once he was found to be dangerous in anything other than a small portion, which, according to his wife, is not a problem. It's Michael Jamieson.
Hello.
Hello, Michael.
That was a very good intro, thank you.
Yeah, I pored over that intro for a long time this morning, trying to get the right balance between insulting you as much as possible and making you cry.
Almost achieved on the crying front.
Good.
Yeah.
How are you,
Decent.
Michael?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. We're recording, for listeners, we're recording at a different time to our usual recording time. It's much earlier. That means I will not be drinking beer tonight. I will be stone cold sober throughout the entire length of the podcast tonight, which is
wow.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? I should have maybe got like a glass of water or something. I didn't think that far ahead. Anyway, sure I'll cope.
I just thought I haven't offered my guest a drink.
Oh,
he's got one.
I'm good.
He's
Spoiler.
Got a bottle.
Spoiler
Decent.
there. Ruined it then, haven't you? Just by
there's a man here.
Well, yeah, giving him an opportunity to speak before I've had an opportunity to properly introduce him.
Not my fault.
Well, unprofessional. So, well, you've already heard his voice. Michael's already spoiled it. The youngest guest to ever appear on FRUK Unwrapped, if I'm not mistaken. He doesn't like crumpets. He thinks peanut butter Kit Kat Chunky's overrated. I'm definitely turning into an old man, but the world is doomed if this is an example of the next generation. It's millennial scum, Sam Patrick. Hello, Sam.
Hi. Yeah, that's me. The scummiest. Millennials are bad. I'm the worst of the lot.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, not bad.
I'm glad to be speaking to you tonight because over the last week we have had several fallings out on social media. You've been the most controversial member of the FRUK team by some way.
Yeah, it has been.
Honestly, I've been checking behind doors because you've scared me with your threats this week.
I think there were pictures of knives going around at one point.
There was, I did threaten a kind of a prison-style stabbing at one point, but it was a comedy threat. You know, if you can't threaten your friends with death, who can you threaten with death?
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Exactly.
That's a fair point.
Well, for those who might not know who Sam is, if you check out, he's appeared in a few of the Food Review UK videos. He did the Dry Burger Challenge. Put up a fairly decent time on that.
Yeah, but no one else has challenged him.
Yeah,
since, I
keep driving past McDonald's and thinking, shall I just go in and grab a dry burger and then
do it?
It's never ever going to be what you fancy.
No, well, that's the thing, right? I've watched you do it. I've watched MJ do it, and I just think it's easy. Surely, it's not. I mean, it won't be nice, but it can't be hard.
I mean, I've set a reasonable standard by like FRUK standards, but you can't do that sort of challenge without Googling it, and people are doing it in like 10, 12 seconds. So, I mean,
I can see
by
how
FRUK standards, I'm happy with my time.
I can see 15 seconds being easy. I'm gonna have to do it, aren't I, at some point?
You're gonna have to, mate.
Yeah, show us how it's done.
Yeah,
we are the amateurs in your eyes.
So, Sam, how did you first get involved with Food Review UK?
Worked with MJ for a while. You can't know MJ for long without hearing about FRUK.
Correct.
I think even before meeting MJ, someone was like, that's Michael Jameson. He runs a food review channel on YouTube. He'll talk about it for definite.
Yeah.
And then he came over and was like, nice to meet you. I'm MJ. Have you seen the channel? YouTube, 10,000 subscribers. No, he was the office celebrity, but it was cool. And then we actually sort of, what was it? I think we sort of socialised over movies.
Yeah.
More than anything initially.
When new people join, I ask them a list of questions to break down the awkward barriers of knowing each other. And Sam, I think I realised you were a legend when you said that you liked Yu-Gi-Oh! I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
We got a nerd in the house. Now we're talking.
Yeah, that's one of the several nerdy things that you know about me.
That was it. And I was like, oh, okay, he's a ledge. Yeah, he's good in my book.
Yeah, it was like films, yes. Online gaming, yes. Retro, yes. And then it was just talking about food every day for the 9 months I was there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then did you leave because of MJ?
Mostly. Mostly. It was just, it got to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, there was some inappropriate touching.
Oh. I think we probably better move on then. As we always do with a new guest, Sam, we like to ask you our random questions to just get to know you in a quick fire way. So I've got 10 questions here. I'm not going to ask you all 10. I'm going to ask you 3. So I need you to choose for me 3 numbers between 1 and 10. You can pick all 3 numbers at once, or you can give me them one at a time. It's up to you.
We'll go for 2 first.
Okay. Oh, it's an absolute classic. I don't like reading this one out. It's F, marry or kill, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Which would you make sweet love to? Which would you marry? Which would you kill?
I'd kill breakfast because I'm not hungry in the mornings. Now, I will admit that breakfast food is some of the best foods, but these days you can get breakfast food anywhere at any time of day. So specifically as breakfast, yeah, I'll get rid of that.
Good point.
Yeah, I'd marry lunch because I think it keeps me going throughout the day. It sustains you. Just like marriage, maybe. Apparently, I've heard rumours. That's a Brooklyn Nine-Nine reference, by the way. Yeah, and then are we allowed to swear?
You can swear, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'd fuck this shit out of dinner. It is just the best. Like, yeah, I don't know how to describe it because it varies and it's just anything you want it to be. Dinner is, and it's like to look forward to. You spend all day looking forward to it. Like a beautiful woman, it's what you want to go home to.
Awesome. Good choice. Give me another number then, Sam.
3.
What's the sexiest fruit or vegetable?
Oh, I want to go for a peach.
Oh.
It's got that association. It's got the slight indent that's suggestive.
I wish the listeners could see your face, Sam, because there's just a glint appeared in your eye when you were imagining that. A peach, not a grapefruit. We've had a lot of suggestions of a grapefruit, haven't we?
It's always there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why a grapefruit?
Because there's this YouTube video of this woman who is strange. Go on, final number then, Sam.
I'm gonna have to do some YouTube searching.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, we'll go for 7.
Okay. Oh, my favourite: poo flavoured chocolate or chocolate flavoured poo. Which would you rather eat?
Chocolate flavoured poo. That's probably a novelty as it is. You could probably buy that somewhere.
Chocolate flavoured poo. You want to eat actual feces.
Oh wait, so it's not just shaped like poo. It's actual.
It's actual poo, but it tastes of chocolate.
So someone that's only eaten chocolate for like the last 6 weeks.
There's no scientific basis behind this, Sam. It's poo.
Oh, see, that's a hard one.
I don't know. Maybe a wizard. Maybe a wizard has cast a spell and has made the poo taste of chocolate. Whereas the chocolate that tastes of poo, that could be, for example, an artificial flavouring that's been put in the chocolatier's laboratory.
Yeah, I'll go for that then. Poo flavoured chocolate. Yeah.
Correct. The only acceptable answer.
Yeah, I was so wrong.
Yeah.
I was so wrong.
Yeah.
I just assumed we were on about just chocolate shaped into poo, but no.
I mean, I'd eat chocolate shaped like poo every day of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, without
That's
a problem.
Perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't really have chocolate every day.
I'm a type 1 diabetic. I definitely shouldn't have chocolate every day.
I didn't realise that about you. That could have come up with one of the questions. I suppose it's not really a food allergy, is it? It's a serious and life-threatening illness.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah.
Right. Well, now that we've got that bit out of the way, I suppose we should tell people what you've already seen it in the thumbnail and the description and everything, haven't you? But we are going to be talking tonight, this evening, this afternoon on this podcast about childhood favourites. And I think the best way to get us going is with a lovely bracing round of Quivia. Q-U-I-V-I-A, yeah, it's Quivia time, so play Quivia. Q-U-I-V-I-A, yeah, it's Quivia time, play Quivia. It's like a cross between some trivia and a quiz and a such its names apart. The two of those two aforementioned words. Q-U-I-V-I-A, yeah, it's Quivia time, so play Quivia. Q-U-I-V-I-A, yeah, it's Quivia time, play Quivia.
Whee!
Let's go.
Right, Quivia tonight. Leave just a little gap. Need to get into the habit of leaving little gaps so it's easy for the editing. Not so I can put it in, just so I can see things.
So you can visually see that there's
So I
a
can
gap.
visually see that there's a gap, yeah. Rather than this waffling on about admin. Right, tonight's Quivia, based on childhood favourites. What I've done is... This episode of the podcast is rather unusual in that we have got three people on the podcast who were all born in different decades. I was born in the 1970s, Michael Jamieson was born in the 1980s, and Sam was born in the 1990s. I have got 10 products here. What you've got to do is tell me when they were first released. Were they first released in the decade of my birth, in the decade of MJ's birth, or the decade of Sam's birth, okay?
Wow,
Right.
this is
I
amazing.
mean, I will point out first of all that I am at an obvious disadvantage in that I've only lived through 1/3 of the possibilities. You've seen them all.
If you hadn't have been such a pain in the backside over the last week, you would have found that Quivia would not have been so unpleasant and targeted towards you today, Sam. So you reap what you sow, mate.
Yeah, the thing is, if you start slagging off Kit Kat Chunky with peanut butter,
I didn't slag it off.
I mean, you did.
I
seem
just
to recall you saying it was
expressed that it was
dreadful.
inferior to 90% of the rest of the chocolate in most shops'
Oh,
offerings.
so incorrect, it's unbearable.
And it's, yeah, I mean, and we didn't even get around to discussing the four-finger Kit Kat versus Chunky, because we're going to have to do this as a poll, because I'm sure I'm right.
What, the Chunky's better?
Four-finger versus Kit Kat Chunky.
Chunky's better, obviously.
No, four-finger.
Oh, such a dead opinion. I'm not having
This is going up as a poll.
Yeah, this is good. We'll do a poll of this.
Brilliant. Right, should we do a poll later on? Because we're kind of playing Quivia now. We're on a tight ship because you need to leave, Michael Jamieson.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Right, here we go.
Sam's coming with me, though, to be fair.
Is Sam going as well?
Yeah. Tagging along.
Hey, we're smashing it.
Brilliant. Right, are you ready then?
I love the sound of this.
Product number 1. Is it from Sam, from Stuart, or from MJ? Okay. The Timeout Bar. MJ, which decade do you think that was first released?
I think that might be quite an old one, actually. I'm going to say Stuart.
You're going to say Stuart. MJ is saying Stuart. Sam, what are you saying for the Timeout Bar?
I think it was discontinued in 2014 and they changed it to the Timeout Wafer.
That's some good knowledge.
And the wafer is probably one of my favourite chocolates.
I can drop in an additional knowledge.
Yeah, I'm going to go for MJ.
Very good. I'll give you the answers at the end, boys. Number 2, the Kinder Egg. Sam, where would you like to go for the Kinder Egg?
Oh, yeah, that's my generation, I think. Sometime in the 90s. Maybe before me.
MJ?
It's older than I remember, so I'm going to say MJ.
Okay. Number 3, the Happy Meal. MJ?
Oh, that's surely got to be Stuart.
Sam?
MJ.
Number 4 is the Push Pop. The Push Pop. Sam, which decade are you going for?
See, I remember them always when I was a kid, Push Pop. So, yeah, I would say mine.
So you are saying Sam. MJ,
Yeah.
what are you saying?
I believe it was heavily advertised when I was its target demographic. So I would also say Sam.
Okay. Number 5 is FRUK.
What was that? When was that? 87.
Oh, okay, end of the 80s then.
FRUK favourite, the Fuse Bar.
Oh,
Who we up to? It's MJ. Go first.
Sam.
Sam?
Yeah, 100%. That's
I was
the first
asking
one
Sam for his answer. I wasn't clarifying your answer.
See, when the Fuse Bar was being discussed in FRUK, I sort of avoided it because I don't remember it. So, yeah, I'm going to say mine. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the first one I've been certain on because I can actually tell you for an additional point. I can tell you it was discontinued in 1998. Oh no, is that a lie?
Yeah, it is a lie.
Yeah, debuted in 98. Carry on.
Okay. Number 6, hula hoops. Sam, what are you going for?
I'll go on MJ.
I'm writing things in the wrong columns here. MJ, what are you going for?
Interestingly, I haven't had a bag of hula hoops for months and months until today.
Ooh. Synergy.
Yeah, loop.
Hula hoop vibes.
That's really hard. Hula hoops, were they 70s or 80s? They're certainly not 90s. I'm going to say MJ.
Okay, number 7, MJ. Tab clear.
Oh, God. MJ.
And Sam, what are you going for tab clear?
I don't know what that is.
It was discontinued before you were born. It was essentially kind of clear Diet Coke. The Coca-Cola company's answer to Crystal Pepsi. Like a clear cola product.
I'll go for MJ then.
Okay.
Seems like an 80s kind of thing.
Number 8, Monster Munch. Sam, what are you going for?
Oh, Monster Munch. Yeah, MJ.
And MJ, what are you going for?
Yeah, I think MJ as well.
Number 9, MJ. Nesquik cereal.
Oh,
A real childhood favourite.
That's got to be Sam.
What do you think, Sam?
No, I think Nesquik's older than that.
How old is it, Sam?
But is it older than MJ? Well, it's probably older than MJ, but I'd say early 80s. So I would still say MJ's generation, but before MJ.
And finally,
The MJ.
The final one,
Sorry.
Sam, you're going first with this. It's the Cadbury Whisper Bar.
So who's going with this?
Sam is.
Ooh.
Oh,
Alternating, Michael. It's a fair
such a
system.
boring chocolate. Yeah, mine.
And
You're saying Sam?
MJ,
No,
what are you going for?
Stuart.
Is it really?
I don't know. I think it's pretty old.
Right, are you ready? Let's
Go on.
go through the answers. Number 1, the Timeout Bar. MJ said the 70s, Stuart. Sam said MJ. It was actually released in 1992.
Oh my God, that's mental.
92.
I was
Wow.
smashing them down around that
We're
age.
going
So
to get awful scores.
I was
Awful.
eating them brand new.
Oh yeah, we are talking about terrible scores here. Yeah. Number
Are we?
2, yeah, you've both embarrassed yourselves massively. Number 2, the Kinder Egg. MJ said MJ. Sam said Sam. You pair of egotistical. It was actually 1972. It was the oldest product on the list.
No,
72, the Kinder Egg.
that's mental.
Number
You could see
3,
my face.
the Happy Meal. MJ said Stuart. Sam said MJ. It was 1979.
Oh,
MJ
so
gets
close.
one on the box. One on the box. That's not even a phrase. Number 4, the Push Pop.
My new favourite.
You both said Sam. It was 1986.
Oh,
Number 5, the Fuse Bar. You both said Sam. Of course, it was Sam. It was actually 1996, and I believe discontinued in 2001.
yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. Which isn't what you said, but you know.
Well, no. As soon as I said 1998,
Yeah.
I actually knew it was 1996.
Number 6, you both said MJ. That would have been the correct question if the correct answer if the question had been which FRUK Unwrapped presenter is most likely to be sent to prison for unspeakable crimes. But the actual answer was 1970. Hula hoops.
What product was it?
Hula hoops. It was
Oh.
73.
Oh,
Really early
yeah.
on.
fair.
Number
Is
7.
this going that I'm not scoring anything?
You've got
I'm
one.
first.
You've got one.
Did I get one?
Yeah,
Hey.
you're doing well. Say well. Number 7, Tab Clear, 1992. I remember it coming out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you both went for MJ for that.
Yeah.
Number 8, you both went for MJ for the Monster Munch. It was 1977.
Wow.
The Nesquik cereal. MJ said Sam. Sam said MJ. It was 1999.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
1999.
Yeah, crazy.
That is fucking mental.
And the Whisper. I can't believe that Sam thought the Whisper came out in the 1990s. Like, it was 1981. MJ, you'd gone for the 70s for that one. So the final scores are MJ got a massive 3 out of 10. And Sam, you got 1. So tonight's Quivia winner is Michael Jameson. Well done, Michael.
I don't feel... I'm not as gutted as I would be if it was a bit more relevant to my age, but yeah.
Yeah, it is quite an impressively low score, because even if you were guessing 1 in 3, so if you guess 3, you should get 1 right. So you should have got 3 to 4 right.
Yeah, as you did.
Yeah.
As well as the fact that by the time the 90s were over, I was 5 years old.
It's not much.
Barely able to comprehend life.
Not my fault that you are millennial scum, is it? I am neither your father nor your creator, nor don't know where I'm going with that. Right, so let's.
Really weird.
Hello, it's MJ. You're listening to FRUK Unwrapped. Please leave us a review on iTunes and check out our other exploits, which does include our Instagram page at FRUKgram and our Twitter page at Food Review UK. And hey, we've got lots of awesome videos on YouTube. Thanks a lot for your support.
Let's leave Quivia behind and move on to our main topic tonight. So I've got a few things that I want to talk through with you. The first thing I want to know is, what was your favourite food as a child, Sam? When you were a child, thinking back to, 2 years ago, what was your favourite food?
So sort of growing up, I was like, a lot of home cooked meals was just surrounded by pasta. Everything was pasta growing up. So yeah, I was raised on carbs, and I was a pretty fat kid. By about 12, I was huge, and yeah, I just couldn't get enough carbs. But like individual home cooked meals and stuff, I think my favourite meal ever was a good sausage casserole. Oh, I could eat that for days and days of sausage casserole. But occasionally you sort of gravitate towards a bit of junk food. Like, do you remember I think they still do them, but I remember a lot more of my childhood. Do you remember the Frey Bentos tinned meatballs?
Oh, the tin. Do you know what I do? Yes.
Do you remember those? They would come out of a can, and they would sort of stay in the shape of a can until you heated them up.
They were a little bit dog foody, weren't they? Like when
exactly, yeah. And you'd eat them up, and they'd slowly melt, and then you'd dump them on some pasta, and that was sort of Saturday morning food when I was cooking for myself as a kid.
Wow.
But yeah, so proper crap.
So you just reminded me then. I used to Campbell's meatballs were the ones that we used to have, and I went through a period of eating a lot of tinned meatballs as a child.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think our cupboards were just full of tins of everything, and then just sort of that's the stuff we could prep for ourselves.
Crazy. Jameson, what was your favourite food when you were a kid?
I think I've got to say chicken nuggets. I was quite a sort of fussy eater when I was a child.
Were you?
Not much changed.
I'm still slightly fussy, but I am so much better than I was, even like 10 years ago. Yeah, it's got to be chicken nuggets. I often had chicken nuggets, so how young are we talking? Because around the age of 13, probably 12 to 13, I started dipping chicken McNuggets in McFlurry, and that is still to this day one of my favourites. That's definitely one of the best things you can eat. I have ordered a chicken McNugget share box on a Sunday the other day. And it was fucking amazing.
The other day, so this is still an ongoing issue.
Oh yeah, like less than a week ago I did that. It was Wednesday. Like.
What's the chicken McNugget share box? A 20 nuggets thing.
Yeah.
And an ice cream sundae.
Yeah, ice cream sundae didn't cover it actually. It covered up. It was enough to dip for until there was about 6 nuggets left. So it's about one sundae will serve 14.
And that's a plain sundae, right? No sauce.
That was a toffee sundae actually.
You are having no.
What?
No, do you know? I can kind of get right the ice cream thing. Right, it's
like a cream cheese, isn't it?
Yeah, or a sour cream. It's a creamy, vaguely sweet, nice, and it's a texture. It's a temperature. I wouldn't necessarily do it myself, but I can get it. You know, I've dipped a McDonald's chip in a McDonald's milkshake. You know, I can understand that, but the toffee sauce, I think, is taking it too far.
Oh, you wouldn't like what I used to do at Domino's then?
Story time.
So Domino's used to do, I can't remember which desserts it was, but probably 6 years ago or so, I think that's when they were discontinued. Domino's did, I think they did waffles, is something that it came with. And the waffles came with, I think they came with two sauces, chocolate sauce and toffee sauce, or you chose. But dipping the Domino's chicken strippers in just straight up in the caramel sauce was incredible, and dipping it in the chocolate sauce was quite good. But yeah, because you didn't really need the sauce with the waffles, to be honest.
Did you work there?
No.
That is for something you requested.
Yeah. The strippers in caramel sauce.
I thought you'd get away with working there and like
no.
being sneaky, but no, just straight up. Can I order some chicken dippers and some chocolate sauce?
I would have a pizza as well.
To disguise it a little.
Oh.
Standard. Normal.
I don't get
Normal
how a man can be such a self-professed fussy eater and eat such bizarre flavour combinations. You don't like vinegar, but you like chicken and chocolate together.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. That is quite odd, isn't it?
It's very, very odd indeed. Yeah, bizarre. I was trying to think that what I would consider my favourite food when I was a child, and I seem to recall that when I was a child, if asked what my favourite food was, I would have said spaghetti bolognese. And I don't know whether that's a true... I'm looking back a lot further than you are. Whether
much
or
older.
not... I'm much older, yeah. Whether or not I was genuinely a big fan of spaghetti bolognese, I think I was. And still to this day, one of the things that I really enjoy as a comfort food... You know, Heinz tinned spaghetti bolognese.
Oh, yeah.
Do you eat spaghetti?
Just the spaghetti or
hoops
the
or the actual
the tinned spaghetti bolognese with the little bits of meat in it and stuff.
Never tried it.
Yeah.
I like it on toast. So rather than say beans on toast or whatever, I will have have toast with that on, and that's still massively nostalgic, I suppose. That, and I used to eat a lot of Heinz tinned ravioli as well. I
remember. Yeah. I'd get murdered for eating tinned bolognese. It's my dad's signature dish. If he ever found out that I'd eaten it, he'd never make it for me again, and that's something I can't. No, that's something I couldn't live with.
It's got nothing to do with Heinz tinned spaghetti bolognese. Has got nothing to do with spaghetti bolognese. It's so different. The spaghetti's a lot softer and a lot thicker. It's very salty, as you can imagine. It's a junk food equivalent. I would never go, I fancy some spaghetti bolognese and have a tin of Heinz. It's usually, we'll go, what should we have for lunch today? Or should we have something on toast? Get some beans on toast or this or that, you know. And I'll always, given the choice, go for that tin spaghetti bolognese. But you wouldn't eat it, you know.
Does it pop out of the can with that satisfying slop like the Frey Bentos meatballs do?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hold the cylindrical shape as much as the meatballs do, but it does. It's quite gelatinous when it comes out. Yeah,
doesn't even need a spoon or a fork, just a little wiggle.
Yeah, just a shake of the can, and then out it goes.
Interestingly, I did nearly actually say spaghetti bolognese. My mum used to cook an absolutely mean one. And since I've started to learn to cook, I've not been happy with any bolognese that I make.
It's never as good. Funnily enough, it was on my list of top foods as well.
I had an incredible one in London about 5 years ago, but I have just not, because I'm quite a realist when it comes to my own cooking. Like, I am definitely a good cook, and there are some things that I do amazingly well, but bolognese just isn't one of them. But my lasagna is incredible, like insane. And you'd think the same thing would carry over, but I've made good ones. And Claire's been like, yeah, no, it's lovely, but nah.
I don't know where you got. I mean, there are some, I've seen chefs make bolognese where they they put milk in and all sorts and
Yeah,
all
milk's
kinds
quite
of,
traditional, I
yeah.
think, isn't it?
I believe so,
No.
yeah. But I mean,
Gosh.
I've never eaten spaghetti bolognese out. I never order pasta at Italian restaurants anyway, because I just think.
Pizza?
I often order pizza at an Italian restaurant. Yeah, in fact, I generally order pizza because until recently I couldn't make a properly good thin crust Italian style pizza, but now I've got a pizza oven, so I can do that myself. But
Legend.
Oh, it was so good, mate. I mean, we're still yet to make. I'm going to do 72-hour dough and make some proper bases because we're still just experimenting with it and getting the right fuel and stuff for it.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I've already talked about will we be at Christmas Eve when we do our Christmas Eve calzones? Hopefully it's not snowing and freezing cold or raining, and I'll be able to do the calzones outside.
Is it a dedicated pizza oven, or is it just one of the barbecue top ones?
No, it's a dedicated pizza oven, so it's an outdoor wood or charcoal fire pizza oven. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great. It wasn't expensive either, you know. It was £80 from Aldi. It's really, really good. Came with a pizza stone. We've used it a couple of times now, and it's really good.
Oh yeah, those Aldi bargains come along every now and again.
Yeah.
Got some good stuff.
Yeah.
I think I picked up a good set of steel saucepans there, and I thought within a couple of weeks they'd be ruined, and they're my best set now, funnily enough.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff, Aldi. What? He's persevering with this phone conversation, is he?
It appears so.
I'm
He's not willing
on
to
the
give it
phone
up.
to Rich, and he's giving me some very incredibly bad news.
What?
Oh, awful. Oh, currently closed. Wow. So the cinema where we're going tonight is currently closed because of a burst water main. I'm fuming. I'm absolutely fuming. I was really looking forward to it.
Wow.
Right, well, thank you very much for letting us know, mate.
I mean, just
Cheers. Take it easy. Bye.
any further correspondence, if he could maybe text it or WhatsApp it, that'd be.
Oh yeah, he did. He did it over WhatsApp.
Oh,
We'll have to get him into the conversation, really, because he likes appearing on the episodes, doesn't he?
Oh God, yeah, he
Every
does. Yeah,
fucking episode, isn't it? In fact, doesn't that make it like 3 on the trot?
yeah, that is. He's done that on purpose.
Christ.
Oh, right. Back to the topic in hand then. I would like to ask you, what are some memorable food products that you remember, childhood favourites of yours, that are no longer available? Sam.
So, I have a distinct memory of a product that existed for one summer, and it was probably my first experience of it. I must have been about 6 or 7 years old, and for one summer in 2002, McDonald's did hot dogs.
Really?
One summer, yeah. And it was probably the first time I'd ever had a hot dog with mustard and ketchup. And do you know what? I bloody loved it. And now I can't get enough of them.
Did they do
But
Did they do them everywhere, all branches, or?
I don't know. I covered a pretty small circle of McDonald's growing up. But yeah, it was the occasional treat. And yeah, McDonald's, hot dogs, and gone and never came back.
Wow, do you remember the McDonald's hot dogs, MJ? I don't, but I'm not a McDonald's guy.
I very vaguely remember them, yeah. I don't think I ever tried one, though.
No. Anything else, Sam?
Not sort of products like that. I guess sort of Jamie Oliver stole my turkey Twizzlers.
Yeah. Were you
You can still get them.
Were you a turkey Twizzlers fan?
I was any school dinners fan. Anything that they'd slap on a tray in front of me, I would demolish. I think you're forgetting that I was a big child.
For the podcast listeners, that's particularly, I find that very shocking because if you've never seen Sam is an incredibly slim young man. So, if you don't mind me asking, Sam, what did you do that took you from being a big child to being a trim, healthy, slim and sexy young man?
I got diabetes.
Is it genuinely down to the diabetes?
Yeah, the diabetes is the main cause for my weight loss. And now I can't get it back on, which some people see as a benefit. I can eat till the cows come home and never really put on any weight, but I weigh less than I'd like to.
So is that because of the insulin?
I guess with better control, I'd probably be able to manage my weight a lot more effectively. But yeah, the stage it's at the minute, it's just it's got me down to this weight from where I was. And I'll have to send you a picture and you'll have to see how big I was. Because, yeah, I think I weigh the same now as I did when I was probably about 12 or 13 years old.
Right.
And that's not a reflection of me now. That's a reflection of how big I was.
Yeah.
I was a big kid.
Wow. Can you catch
So, yeah.
You can't catch diabetes, can you? I'm just
No,
wondering
don't worry.
if there's
You
some
don't,
way.
you don't have to avoid me.
No, I'm thinking
or spend
entirely
more
the
time
opposite.
with me. Yeah.
I'm thinking like maybe some cuddling.
Yeah.
Maybe some intimacy. You know.
You have to buy me dinner first.
Heavy petting.
Heavy petting. Nice.
Brilliant. MJ, the challenge for you is to not mention fizzy drinks from Woolworths, to not mention Ghostbusters chocolate bars.
Oh, fuck.
What are the memorable food products that are no longer available that were your childhood favourites?
Cadbury Astros.
What were they?
What?
What were Cadbury Astros?
I'm going for a what too.
Sorry, neither of you know what Cadbury Astros are.
Mate, you don't need to Google it. You remember them.
Oh my god, this is mental.
I'm assuming they featured
What
in
were
the
they?
video.
Tell me what they are, and then I'll remember.
Wow, the listeners are currently hearing one man saying that he likes Astros and two men saying that they don't know what Astros are. Okay, they came in a little purple box, and they were sort of space themed, so they were little asteroids or whatever, and they were small. I believe it was a Cadbury. No, it was a biscuit centre, very crunchy biscuit centre, covered in milk chocolate and then covered in a sugar shell.
Right.
Yeah, and they weren't probably they were around in the late 90s. So I reckon they probably left around 2002ish.
Can't have been that great if they're gone.
Still available in South Africa.
I was going to say still available in South Africa.
Yeah.
It's same story with Dream. I'm a big white chocolate fan. White chocolate over milk chocolate. So do you remember the Dream bars?
Hasn't Dream just been announced?
Well, Dream exists in Australia, and I was traveling in Australia for several months, and I couldn't get enough of them. But I don't know if it's coming back. If it is, this is news to me.
No, it's not. Some of the big Lad Bible, Daily Mail, they all go, yeah, it's available.
In Australia.
It's available in loads of other countries, and you can buy things online. And they're like, oh yeah, it's available now. Suddenly, no, it's been available forever.
Yeah, that was the big one I remember.
Wow. Crazy, because that's fairly, in the grand scheme of things as well, the Dream was a fairly new chocolate bar. Like, that was something that came out when I was, like, definitely an adult. I suppose, though, with Milky Bar being... How many white chocolate bars can a consumer market like the UK maintain? That's the thing, isn't it?
And Milky Bar is far superior to Dream.
So, there you go.
Yeah.
So Dream, unnecessary product.
I'd also like to throw a shout out to Choco Cornflakes.
Were they weren't ones that were actually covered in chocolate, were they?
No, they were like heavily frosted with a sweet chocolate sort of thing.
Right. Mm.
Oh, they were the best cereal. Boom.
I feel like they probably exist as some sort of non-name brand Tesco's own.
You are precisely correct, although not actually in the UK. There are no off-brand chocolate coconut cornflakes in the UK. There are some that you can get on Amazon, and I may buy them, but it's £10 for like 2 boxes. So, and again, it's off-brand, so they might not have the level of quality. But I'm heavily thinking about it.
Crazy. I was having a little look today to see some products that I enjoyed. The first one that I genuinely don't understand why it doesn't exist anymore is the Spira.
Oh yeah.
I know it's just plain Cadbury's chocolate, but the texture of a chocolate bar. I know Sam said the Whisper's boring, but I don't think it is. The texture of a Whisper makes it kind of fizzy. The texture of the Spira with it. Do you not get a kind of fizzy vibe? You got to suck the Whisper rather than just chewing the Whisper.
Are you on about like just the bubbles? Because you can get that from like an Aero, and I'd rather go for an Aero than a Whisper.
The Aero, because Aero is bigger bubbles and doesn't give you the same kind of fizziness. I genuinely get a kind of fizziness when I eat a Whisper. And with the Spira, because there was so much space within the 2 fingers, it had a snap to it that other chocolate bars didn't have. Or if you ate it in a kind of more sucky and melty way, it had it was just different to every other chocolate bar. And everyone who you ever speak to enjoyed a Spira. Like, oh yeah, Spira was great. So why is it gone? Like, I understand.
Fuming.
Like, Fuse has got things like raisins in it and stuff. Some people don't like them. You can understand, like, Fuse is quite a grown-up chocolate bar, really. You can understand why Dream doesn't exist anymore, because there's no need for another white chocolate bar in the UK market, because Milky Bar is better. But Spira, that's it. There was nothing else that was even similar to it. The only thing that you could compare it to would be a Twirl, because it's a two-fingered Cadbury's thing that was a textured chocolate. But it's very, very different. I can only imagine that basically Cadbury decided to go with the Twirl over the Spira. It's a shame, though.
It is a shame.
Yeah, it was good. The next one that I remembered, this was something that I got massively obsessed with, and I'm stretching the boundary of childhood favourites here, because I was probably in my early 20s when I got obsessed with these. Do you remember Roundtree's Bursting Bugs?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I used to eat so many of them. Like,
really?
Yeah, I used to eat sackfuls of them. They were amazing. Do you remember?
Yeah, they were good.
Do they not exist anymore?
No.
I remember. So like pub chains and stuff, like same menu wherever you went, would always have on the kids' dessert menu was a mud pie, and it was just chocolate and biscuit bits mixed in, and it always had the Roundtree's Bursting Bugs mixed in, because it was meant to be like a proper mud pie, and then it had like green sprinkles on top for the grass. That's a childhood memory that I totally forgot about until this moment.
There you go. Bursting Bugs.
Yeah, great product. Having Googled it, I just found Roundtree's Fruit Pastels body parts as well. Did they have a liquid centre?
Don't know.
I very much remember. I remember them more than
Don't remember them.
Bursting Bugs, actually.
No, don't remember them. Another one that I just thought was a mention was the demise of the Taz in favour of the Freddo Caramel.
Oh. Taz had wider feet, so it had more caramel in that bite. Yeah. So it was much better.
And didn't look like a penis, whereas Freddo does.
Crucially.
And also the price creep of Freddo, starting out at like 10p a bar. I've seen them in places for like 65p, 70p.
What?
Yeah, this is the South for you, mate.
I've genuinely got no idea how much. I would assume now that Freddos were 10p when I was like 15 or whatever. So I would guess now that a Freddo would be 30p.
I believe that's the RRP.
But I've definitely seen them in corner shops for much more. Like people will stick their own labels on, and as long as it doesn't have a little price tag on it, they'll charge you what they like for it.
Well, do you know what? Those kind of people are scum and deserve to be punished. Anyone who sees a shop charging more than RRP for a Freddo has got Michael Jamieson's approval to shoplift that Freddo. To teach to teach those shopkeepers, those money-grabbing shopkeepers, a lesson. That's disgusting.
Well, have you heard recently Toblerone learned a lesson? They're reverting back to the smaller gaps in the chocolate because their sales just plummeted.
Really?
They plummeted, so they've decided to revert back to their old size, but increase the price. So we'll see how that pays off.
Fine.
Well, I will be going on a ferry on Thursday, and we'll be buying big Toblerones.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a British custom to travel abroad and just return with Toblerones.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Love it. Love it. Get flavours as well. Last time I got it's a salted almond flavour.
Yeah, they started doing those.
Probably the best one, I think.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. I like a dark Toblerone as well.
I remember years ago flying through Switzerland, and I can't remember the name of the airport, but they have like a dedicated Toblerone shop. And it's not a small little corner thing. It's huge. Absolutely huge.
Wow.
Purely just for Toblerone. Every flavour, every size.
Wow.
I'm going to get a Toblerone.
Yeah. I really want Toblerone now.
Yeah, I don't even love them that much, and I want one immediately.
Yeah.
Salty one.
Yeah. Nice salty Toblerone. Yeah. Big time.
Actually, that does lead me on to quite a good segue.
Well, I haven't finished talking about my memorable food products, Michael.
That's what I said.
Put a pin in it.
Yeah. My biggest memorable food product that is no longer available is the Super Mousse.
Oh, what?
The Super Mousse, Sam.
I heard you, but I'm going to have to Google that.
MJ, Super Mousse?
You'll have to give more information.
Right, so the Super Mousse was a small frozen, we'll say, dessert. It came in a little plastic tub with a paper lid on, a bit like, you know when you buy a tub of ice cream at the cinema? Not from like a concession, but where you buy the tub that's pre-packaged and you pull the lid off and maybe there's
I
like
know
a little-
Super Moose.
Yeah, so Super Moose, I used to, going back to what Sam was saying about being an overweight kid and teenager. I was an overweight kid and teenager, and I think one of the things that you can put that down to is the fact that my mum indulged me when I came up with the concept of breakfast afters, which was dessert after your breakfast, and I would have daily.
Wow.
I would daily have a Super Moose after my breakfast as a small breakfast dessert.
Right.
Do you remember Super Moose? How I remember Super Moose, in that you'd get a stack of about 5 or 6 of them,
Yeah.
wrapped up in a bag, and you'd stick them in the freezer, right?
Yeah, okay, I know what you mean.
And
yeah.
you'd have to take them out of the freezer to defrost them, and then they'd become mousse.
Yes.
No. In my house, we grew up thinking that these weren't mousse; they were tubs of ice cream. So we would just take them straight out of the freezer and dig in with a spoon.
Oh, yeah,
It was only years
I ate
later
them
I
frozen,
found
yeah.
out that they were supposed to be defrosted and become mousse.
I used to just microwave mine for about 20 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah,
Frozen for me, they're better that way.
yeah, they're just raspberry ripple ice cream they were
Yeah.
in our house.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah. So that was probably one of my biggest food products. Go on, MJ, do your little segue.
So I was actually the pioneer of salted sweet food. At my school, they had delicious brownies. So I used to sometimes get a brownie. I'd pour a pile of salt in the corner, and I'd dip each bite in the salt.
And someone at your school saw you and went, "I'm going to sell this idea to everyone."
Essentially, I assume. Years later.
I mean, that is psychopathic, but yes. I had, for example, some salted chocolate fudge, which had sea salt, lumps of sea salt sprinkled over the top of it. So, yes, I can understand how that would work. And obviously, we're all fans of proper salted caramel flavours as well. So, yeah. It's very big, though, isn't it, now? I think we've gone past it, haven't we, now, the salt and sweetie combination. It's become massively, massively mainstream.
Well, you are right, but some things just whack the word salted caramel on and aren't salty enough, or it's just bullshit. But some places do use it to good
I think
measure.
Galaxy salted caramel is just one of those that just doesn't really have much of a salted taste to me.
That is what Tony said, but I do disagree.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Oh, fine.
It is definitely.
Yeah, that
reasonably
Galaxy salted
salty.
caramel just has the right amount of salt for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that when Tony said that Galaxy Caramel Salted wasn't. I remember trying it for the first time and talking to you about it, and like, finally a mainstream salted caramel product that is appropriately salty. I haven't had one since then, so maybe they've changed the recipe. I don't know.
Yeah, possible.
Right, Sam, you mentioned before that your favourite childhood foods were kind of home-cooked meals. I want to talk about eating out as a child. What were your favourite restaurants? What were your favourite places to eat out? And also, I want you to think about, were there any places that as a child you considered to be something posh, something a little bit a level up from your standard eating out fare? And I wonder whether or not your views, your opinions on those places are still the same. Sam, were you an eating out family?
Sort of growing up. Obviously, I grew up with separated parents, and I always preferred my mum's home cooking to going out. If we went out, we'd order like a fish and chips or something. That was sort of our luxury with my mum. And then with my dad, it was probably more down the burgers and pizza sort of route. And pizza's like, I don't know, it's sort of far and few between now. But Pizza Hut doing their sort of all you can eat with their ice cream machine was sort of the most common probably eating out thing we did.
Right.
Like aunts and uncles would come visit, and we'd go out and we'd go and get all you can eat pizza from Pizza Hut, and I'd eat till I threw up, and then I'd go fill up my bowl with ice cream.
Wicked. Would you consider Pizza Hut to be like something of a treat then, like a bit of a?
It was a treat, but it definitely wasn't. It wasn't posh. I don't think. I think posh food's only something I've become exposed to sort of later on in life, going to sort of fine dining places in like London and around here, and then travelling every so often you splurge for a quite expensive restaurant and stuff. So that's sort of later on in life it was definitely more splurging on stuff I'd consider posh and high end. But no, as a kid, not really. It wasn't something that was we didn't have the budget for it sort of growing up. We just sort of, it was the occasional treat.
Yeah. You live with your mum?
So growing up I lived with my mum till I was about 12 years old, and then I lived with my dad until I moved out.
Right. So would you? I mean, because there's that kind of almost the cliche, isn't there, of like the dad picking the kids up, taking them for a McDonald's or something when they've got access. So was that like a kind of a thing that you experienced, or?
Yeah, I mean, my mum was sort of really against us having too much sugar as a kid and stuff. So we'd rebel when we went with our dad, and we'd have the occasional sort of bottle of Coke and stuff, and like Coke was off limits. My dad would be like, "Well, you go back to your mum, don't tell her you've had Coke," and that was sort of that was how it went down. But yeah, so she was totally avoiding us being hyper, and my dad was like, "Here, take this, take the kids back while they're full of sugar."
Brilliant. MJ, what about you and eating out?
Yeah, it was. So I had a little bit of exposure to that kind of thing when I used to go visit my dad for the weekend. He used to pick me up, and it was a very ritualistic thing that we would stop at either McDonald's or Burger King. Most typically, I would love to know which Burger King location it was, actually. I could probably figure it out, because it would be the drive between Chesham and Worthing. Wherever the Burger King was, that was just over halfway.
Brilliant.
At a service station, very small. I have some great memories from that
it's
location.
It's not the one for Little Chef next to it, is it?
It will be one of those.
Yeah.
Because it certainly did have a Little Chef.
Little Chefs were all the rage growing up for me.
Massively.
I don't know how far they go back for you guys, but yeah, I remember them a lot.
Yeah, I can't remember them.
I think Little Chefs have always been around. I'm not convinced I've ever actually been to one, but yeah, always been around.
One thing you were saying about McDonald's, which also links into discontinued products. Do you remember the Big Breakfast from McDonald's?
That was quite recently, wasn't it? Did that?
Yeah,
not,
that was discontinued a few years back. That was one I remember. Whenever I'd get picked up by my dad, we'd get a McDonald's breakfast, and we'd get a big breakfast. And it's just my dad only very recently went in and ordered one and was surprised that he didn't have any. So,
wow. So was that pancakes, round sausage, egg?
Yeah, scrambled egg. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't realise that was discontinued, to be honest.
No.
Not a fan of a McDonald's breakfast?
Fucking colossal fan. Probably some of the best food you can get. Double sausage McMuffins is probably one of my favourite things of all time.
I like the McDonald's sausage McMuffins. Don't have them very often, but yeah, I enjoy that.
I think, is it a mutual agreement that sausage is better than bacon from McDonald's?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's fine. I think everyone agrees with that, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has that opinion.
I don't recall doing a lot of eating out as a kid. My main experience of eating out would be, I had a brother who was 12 years older than me. So when we used to go and visit him, he lived in Sheffield at the time. So we're talking, we're talking kind of early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. And when we used to go and visit him, we'd go into Sheffield Town Centre and we would inevitably go for a McDonald's or a Burger King. So that was a kind of a treat when I was visiting my brother. My mum always used to prefer Wimpy. Now, have you ever been to a Wimpy, Sam? I believe there are a few locations near you.
I know. I think there was one in Aylesbury, but I don't know. I think it closed down long before my time.
Yeah.
I've seen. There's one on Southend by the pier. There's a few locations left around that still have them, and I've seen the one on Southend, but I've never been in. But I don't know. I think it's one of those that people have like a nice memory of, but then it's not as good as they remember.
See, I don't remember the food ever being good. I never wanted to go to it. The main reason we ended up in Wimpy was purely because you got your food on a plate, which for some reason my mum thought was important. But I was right. This reference might go over your head. It might be too old for you, but I always thought Wimpy was the Cindy to McDonald's Barbie. It was just like this English imitation, like a poor English imitation.
A wannabe.
Yeah. A GoBots to McDonald's Transformers. It was... And I would be a bit embarrassed to go to a Wimpy, but the Wimpy definitely did exist in my childhood. That was something that happened. And the treat one for me would be, like you said, at Pizza Hut. So I remember my dad, when I would have been young, him going for a Pizza Hut for the first time with some like business clients or whatever, and coming home and telling us about this restaurant that he'd been to where he'd gone in, he'd looked at the menu and he'd gone, I want a large pizza. Of course I want a large pizza. And they brought him out a Pizza Hut large pizza, which was like a 16-slice pizza or whatever, enough for 3 people to share. And being amazed that we had this new kind of pizza dining experience, and then that would be a place where we would go for a birthday treat or what have you. We'd go to Pizza Hut, and I remember loving Pizza Hut. We used to get the garlic bread with cheese, sprinkle extra parmesan on them, get the pizza. Always have the little personal pan pizza, just a plain margarita. Loved it.
Do you remember when they released stuffed crust and then the little stuffed crust bites?
Don't know stuffed crust.
That was a big part of my childhood, was getting pizza, and then suddenly it's got these little bits that you can break off on it and around the crust. And
wow. No,
yes.
I remember stuffed crusts coming out kind of 90s. Don't remember the stuffed crust bites, but I'd gone past Pizza Hut by then. I still do really enjoy. I think Pizza Hut's terrible value, but if you can go up for one of their all-you-can-eat lunch buffets, then it's amazing value. And I'll happily go and eat Pizza Hut pizza. It's dirty pizza, isn't it? It's not.
See, I like authentic pizza, like authentic Italian, and that's sort of the higher end classy stuff. But if I want pizza that's not authentic and it's not supposed to be real Italian with a little bit of sauce and mozzarella and basil, I like Domino's, and it's really, really difficult for me to venture to other places. I have this sort of, I trust Domino's that I'm always going to get a reasonably good pizza. Papa John's, I'm not keen on. And like you said, Pizza Hut's just not really great value for money.
No.
I mean, it's to the point that I've got the Domino's app purely because I just always hitting them up for pizzas.
Wow. I used to eat a lot of Domino's. Back in my kind of mid-20s, used to order a lot of Domino's. I've told the story on the podcast before, but I used to order from Perfect Pizza, and I had to stop ordering from them because I messed them around so much. We did used to eat a lot of Domino's. Do you remember do they still do the double decadence pizza?
They do, with it's like a garlic and herb sauce in between.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
The only problem with double decadence is, and I don't know whether you have this problem, but if you're not going to eat it all on the day, it's not as good to reheat.
Yeah.
If I want to reheat it the next day, I'll just get a standard crust. If I want to eat it all on the night, then I'll go for like a double decadence or a thin crust. But thin crusts and the ones with a sauce in don't reheat as well.
No. We don't. My wife does not like Domino's, so we don't get Domino's anymore. We don't have a Papa John's. I'd like to try a Papa John's. It did
too doughy in my opinion. The dough to topping ratio is just
ridiculously doughy.
Yeah.
Right.
If you want to feed, they do like probably the largest pizzas of sort of like a high street chain. If you want to go bigger, you have to go to sort of local restaurants and stuff. But an extra large pizza from Papa John's is going to feed so many people because you get full after like 2 or 3 slices. It's ridiculously doughy.
Pizza Hut did a pizza going back to the early noughties, so going back about 13, 14 years, I suppose. They did a pizza called a New Yorker, which was a bigger pizza, maybe a 14, 16 incher, that was really good. I used to get quite a few of those. Friday night, 11:30, get a big New Yorker Pizza Hut pizza. They were really good. Do you remember those, Michael? The New York style. Yeah, it was good.
I only started eating pizzas around
2007.
Yeah.
Well documented.
I was going to say, you probably realised from your travels in America, and like I've realised travelling in Australia, like the UK's inflation on pizza prices is ridiculous. It's one of the most expensive places to get pizza.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, but you go to an Italian restaurant and you can get a really nice, proper stone-baked, great little pizza for £6 or £7. You go to an Italian restaurant and it's still cheap, affordable food. In all seriousness, Nathan Peterson's not with us tonight because he's been in Chicago to meet some of the Binge Media guys, and they obviously Chicago deep dish pizza. Have you ever had that?
I've had it at a restaurant probably years and years ago. I remember it came in like quite a deep sort of high-sided pan, but never authentic, never from Chicago, never been over those ways.
Desperate to try it. It does look incredible.
Can you spell some change? We've got ears to feed. We come to you with open hands, but instead of on the streets, we're begging on the podcast. Do you want this episode to be our last? Will you please go to Patreon and donate some cash?
If you enjoy the Food Review UK content on YouTube and here on the podcast, then please consider heading to patreon.com foodreviewuk and making a small donation. I want to just talk a little bit before we play a game, Sam, about any food or drink ad campaigns that you remember from your childhood. Thought this might be good, particularly because we've got such a big age difference between us. So I think about the ad campaigns from my childhood, and I'm thinking about the golden age of TV advertising, the 1980s. You could say anything, you could do anything. Whereas for you, the things that you would remember, I suppose, would be fairly recent in people's memories. I
guess one I remember, but it's also you'd remember it and MJ would remember it because it's evolved over the years. The Milky Bar Kid advert I remember quite specifically. And that's because as a child, I was super fair-haired, glasses, used to love my cowboy outfit. No, I'm joking, that was... So I had like family members and people that would nickname me the Milky Bar Kid, which was fun. I guess sort of a bit older, there was like the Cadbury's advert with the gorilla.
The gorilla.
Banging away on the drums. That was sort of, I remember, I don't even know what year that would be, but it's quite... prominent in my memory.
I bet about 2004, I reckon that.
Yeah, so I'd have been about 8 or 9 years old. I'd have been so
maybe even later than that. Maybe about 2006. I remember watching that for the first time. I remember where I was living. So probably about 2006. 'Cause I mean, you watch the advert, you're like, oh, what's this an advert for? It's for drums. It's for gorillas. It's for teaching gorillas to play. And then the next day, it was just one of those adverts where every single person, you go into work or school or whatever, did you see the Cadbury's advert? It's really clever advertising, isn't it? Total word of mouth viral campaign. Yeah, amazing.
That iconic purple,
incredible advert.
And then they kept the purple, and then there was the eyebrows advert, the dancing eyebrows.
Yeah,
brilliant advert. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're ones that everyone, like the drumming, everyone knows the song. So you'd would come on and you'd drum away, air drum. But with the eyebrow one, everyone used to try it and nobody could do it.
No. I'm surprised that MJ's not just tried to do it now. Amazing. You look a bit like the girl in that advert.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Watching it now, aren't we?
Crazy. Anything that you remember, Michael Jamieson, from your childhood?
There's a couple, actually, yeah. So you got the Dairy Lee. Actually, there's a couple that I know some of the guys in them. So the Dairy Lee advert, I was friends with him.
What Dairy Lee advert?
Licked his hands, and then he climbed up the wall, and then climbed onto the ceiling to duck down and grab some Dairy Lee from the middle of the table.
Don't remember that.
Yeah.
He was called Guy Witcher. He was also in a program called The Worst Witch. He was one of the wizards.
And his name was Guy Witcher.
Correct.
Crazy. Incredible.
Yeah, correct. Then, of course, we got our own David Goss, who was in the Golden Grahams advert. Yeah. Which is a memorable one for me. When I found out he was in it, I was like, "You were in that one."
Why? I've never actually had the story. Why was David Goss in a Golden Grahams advert? Was he?
He did a bit of acting.
Did he really?
Just a little bit, yeah. The guy who's in Aladdin at the moment. No, the guy who is the backup Aladdin, he did like auditions with when he was younger.
What do you mean the backup Aladdin?
The backup Aladdin on the West End.
Is it the understudy or like who replaces him if he can't?
Yeah.
Understudy.
All right, on the West End.
Yeah, he's like he did auditions with him when he was younger, and the other day he was like, "Look where I am now, and look where he is."
Wow.
Yeah, I've heard whispers about his acting career, but didn't know that. So.
Yeah, crazy. Anything else, MJ?
It's the old Tango boy, isn't it? You've been tangoed.
Oh, God, yeah.
Run up and slapped him in the street, was it?
Yeah, happy slapping. Yeah, those Tango adverts were mad. They were massive.
Yeah, mental.
Every single playground, everyone was getting slapped, and you've been tangoed. Oh,
it's unfood related. I think it was Reebok, but do you remember Belly's Gonna Get Ya?
I do remember Belly's Gonna Get Ya.
That was an advert that I just remember from my childhood a lot. That's that one was quite stuck out.
It's kind of food related in a way, I suppose. It's got
there was the Crusher advert, but that's a really new one.
With the song.
Yeah.
I want some Crusher. That one.
Yeah.
With
Crushing
the cats.
all the cows.
With the
the cats.
Wasn't that the guy? Was it rathergood.com? The guy that did the internet videos. Is he called something like Joel Vetch or something? He's like an internet thing.
Oh,
do you not know MJ?
Say again?
Was he not? Was he like an internet guy? I think it's rathergood.com. Was that not the guy that did those adverts?
Don't really know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, it's from back in the day of early days of the internet. There was this website called rathergood.com that had loads of cool little videos and stuff on it before YouTube. But yeah, there's so many adverts that I remember from my childhood. Like got the Umbongo advert, obviously, which is massive. We mentioned this before, but I mean, you were nobody at my school unless you could recite the entire Umbongo song.
Correct.
Cadbury's Caramel Bunny, many a young man's first crush.
Yeah, she was hot.
McDonald's use of Ronald McDonald, which they now seem to have moved away from. Ronald was everywhere in the 80s. Here's one for you. Can you name the product? The red car and the blue car had a race. All Red wants to do. Yes! What an advert that was.
The red car and the blue car had a race.
All Red wants to do is stuff his face. He eats everything he sees, from trucks to prickly trees. But good old blue, we took the Milky Way.
Yeah, correct.
I've got a couple of racist adverts for you, Michael, especially for you. There was a Kiora advert in the 1980s, which was kind of featured a stereotypical, a young black boy, but literally black. His skin was black, and he had some crows doing kind of weird cod.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
It's too orangey for crows. It's just for me and my dog. I'll be your dog. And I used to love that advert as a kid. And it's only recently when I revisited, I thought, not sure it's entirely appropriate. Did you know that Robinsons did not stop using the golly until 2001?
What?
Yeah. I thought it was like gone well before that.
Yeah, Jesus.
You know, I'm not sure. You know, if people have got childhood golly dolls that they love, that they've had since they were a kid, I'm not going to tell them that they can't have those anymore.
I'm
but
almost certain that my nan has probably got several golly dolls around her home. I've definitely seen them, blacked out red jackets.
Yeah.
Heavy makeup.
You know,
they exist.
If people have got them that they've had for a long time, I'm not gonna tell people that they need to get rid of them. But I'm fairly certain that, you know, even in 2000, well before 2001, Robinsons should have realised just how controversial that was.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you remember the Smash robots? Smash Instant Mash. They were good. Another brilliant advert, Vitalite.
I hated Smash.
Oh, I don't think I've ever had it, but I can't imagine it's very nice. There was a series of Vitalite adverts in the 1980s for Vitalite margarine, where they had Desmond Decker's The Israelites, but changed to Oh Vitalite with a son singing it and stuff. They were sick. Another one when I remember. Oh, Vitalite. Yeah. Birds.
Lost again.
These are classic 80s, man. You got to go on YouTube and go in an 80s adverts hole. Bird's Eye Steakhouse Grills. I would never remember. I had to see what the product actually was because I assumed the product was some kind of frozen chips. And it's all these workmen on the way home from work, and they're talking about what they're going to have for their tea, and they're all singing, "We hope it's chips, it's chips." Do you remember that one, Mike? We hope it's chips, it's chips. No?
Don't remember that
Just
one.
Me, then.
No.
Trio? Trio. Classic.
Got to have a biscuit with the caramel.
No, you've gone a bit Kiora there, mate. Rain the 80s.
Oh, no, Fruit and Fibre did the same thing, didn't they?
Fruit and Fibre.
Got to have a bowl of Kellogg's Fruit and Fibre. Kellogg's, come and me want some fun.
Brilliant. Right, I've got a question for you, right? A finger of fudge is just enough to give your kids a treat. Cadbury's fudge is just enough until it's time to eat. It's full of...
Sugar? No, I don't remember that one.
No, it says there's a line in it that I always thought was, it's full of peppery goodness. Does that make sense?
Oh.
Peppery goodness.
No, that's not a thing.
You need to listen to it. It sounds like it says peppery
Unless
goodness.
it's from the phrase gay and pepper.
What?
The phrase gay and pepper.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
So you just make it up.
Sort of.
Cayenne pepper.
Gay and pepper.
Cayenne pepper, yeah.
Gay and pepper.
I'm not sure what you're doing.
Yeah,
Michael.
no, I think I've made that up.
Yeah, it's homophobic as well, so shame.
No, it's not homophobic actually. So
well,
Saying the word gay isn't homophobic. So.
No, but making a joke out of it is, Michael.
Ooh.
So, I mean, that's just the sort of, yeah. Do you remember the Dime adverts from the 1990s with Harry Enfield?
Oh, that does go on.
Crunchy on the outside,
Yeah.
soft on the inside. Armadillos!
Oh, yeah.
It's the closest thing to eating an armadillo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were sick.
Yeah, of course.
They were brilliant. That's quite a lot of adverts that I remember from my childhood. But I think that with the 80s, I had the definitely the best period of time for food product adverts. Anyway,
Stu, what year were you born?
1978.
See, we're classing your generation as the 70s, which you spent 2 years in.
Yeah.
MJ's generation as the 80s, which he spent 3 years in. And
Yeah.
90s, for me, was only 5.
Yeah.
It would probably be easier for me to recollect stuff from the noughties. But I don't.
No, well, all the adverts that I mentioned there were definitely 80s adverts. Yeah, definitely 80s. Right, Sam Patrick, are you ready to play a game?
It's time to play a game. Let's play a game. It's called Sweeter or Severio. We pull the name of a foodstuff out of a hat. You tell us what you think about that. Will the next foodstuff be sweeter or savory? Will it be sugary or covered in salt? It's just no way to know. But you must predict. Will the next foodstuff be sweeter or savory?
Right, I have got absolutely no idea where the standings are for Sweeter or Savoury. I should have kept records of this. I might start keeping records. Probably won't, though. But I don't think anyone scored particularly highly this year. In fact, not many people have played it in 2018. So, Sam, do you understand how the game works?
Remind me.
I say a food. You guess whether the next food will be sweeter or savourier.
Higher or lower with foods.
Yes, exactly. And in the event of a disagreement, Michael Jameson is the final say, which horrifies me. Okay, Sam, your first food.
What
out
horrifies you
of-
because for once there might be a bit of sensibility about what's sweet and what's savoury.
First food, shut up, Michael, out of the Northern Flat Cap is mayonnaise. This is the 5th time that mayonnaise has been out of that Northern Flat Cap, and that is a horrible product to start you off on. I am sorry. Will the next food be sweeter or savourier?
Yeah, let's go sweeter.
Sweeter than mayonnaise. The next food out of the Northern Flat Cap is margarita pizza.
Oh,
It's the second time out. Is margarita pizza sweeter than mayonnaise?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying it is, so there we go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Which one? Where are you going now, Sam? Sweeter or savoury than margarita pizza?
Sweeter.
Sweeter than margarita pizza. It is, Sam. Olive oil.
Oh.
It's the second time out of that. No.
Nah.
No, it's not. Is it? It's savourier than margarita pizza. It is. It's peppery.
If you were to put olive oil on a margarita pizza, would that make it sweeter?
No.
Well, then that's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's me confirmed wrong. So.
Yeah. So you got 3, my friend. They were particularly they were bad draws.
They were challenging.
Could we cut that out and just go again?
You're not the first person to ask.
Is challenging today.
If we did that sort of thing, I'd have scored far more points earlier.
Yeah, that's a shame. Sweeter or savoury, we haven't played it for ages. It comes back, and it only lasts 30 seconds.
It glistens. The brightest of stars burn bright, not long.
Yeah, correct, Michael.
This is Timmy. Say hi, Timmy. Hi. Timmy doesn't know what podcast to listen to because people don't leave a review. Isn't that right? That's right. And isn't it also true you're not an orphan? Absolutely. There you have it. Conclusive evidence that orphans, and definitely not me using a higher pitched voice, have a harder life because you don't leave a podcast review. Reviews today. Save an orphan.
Speaking of bright stars, Michael.
Yeah.
You know what I've got typed up into my schedule right at this point in the show?
No.
It's Michael Jamieson's social media roundup.
Oh my god, mental. It's quite a big one this time.
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh. Bye. Yeah, so here we go. Joseph22497 was said, my favourite used to be the flake snow. I think it means snowflake.
Yeah.
White chocolate flake covered in milk chocolate.
Yep.
Does anyone remember this? Also bring back Mars Delight. Yep, fair comment.
Yep.
Don't remember the flake snow, but I do remember Mars Delight.
Nice. I think Mars Delight I'd probably say is slightly better than snowflake.
Is it Mars Delight? I remember being like the Milky Bar crispy rolls.
Similar. It was like folded over itself chocolate with caramel and biscuit bits or something.
I think you'd like the snowflake though, Sam. White chocolate.
Oh yeah,
but it was interesting.
Yeah.
Well, now I just feel like I've lost out.
Yep. We can hope it will come back. Brown-eyed girl. By the way, guys, this is all from Instagram. So and we post it on Facebook as well.
No comments on Facebook.
No, there were.
All right. Okay.
So when we have a new episode coming up, we always post on Instagram and Facebook. So do go over there. Make sure you're following us, and you too can have your say on the show. So brown-eyed girl, that is To Go Tools' fiance, has said school vending machine treats.
Oh, I used to get, what was it called? I think it was called a Yes. It was like a little cake thing. It was like a little sponge cake covered in the most incredibly thin layer of chocolate. I'm sure it was called something like a Yes cake. I haven't thought about that for ages, but yeah, that was. Yeah, I'm googling it now, binging it. The Yes cake bar. Yeah, it was a Nestle Yes cake bar. So it was like a layer of sponge, then a layer of some kind of creamy filling.
Wow.
And so on. Yeah, I used to really enjoy the Yes bar.
So in primary school, we didn't have vending machines. It wasn't until secondary school. And they'd actually taken them out by year 8. So we only had vending machines for a year. My only memory of vending machines was the boys in sixth form picking me up and throwing me at them.
Oh, that's
in an attempt
nice.
to get chocolate bars out.
Amazing.
That's my distinctive memory of vending machines at school. And then the next year, they stopped throwing me at the vending machines because the snacks they put in them were shit.
So you have your...
That's why I got my break.
Amazing.
Because they decided to be a bit healthier.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
in my school, it was the fruit polos that were particularly popular.
I mean,
I probably hope to get a few of those out.
We had a full. Not only did we have a full kind of sweets and snacks vending machine, we had a Coca-Cola vending machine in the hall at my school as well. So it used to be cans of Coke, can of Coke, and a Yes bar.
Wow.
Yeah, after year 8, it was just Nutri-Grain bars and bottles of water. Yeah.
She's also said favourite school dinner.
Oh.
I didn't really have them.
No,
Brownies
I was a big fan of school dinners. Yeah. Favourite school dinner? Oh, roast chicken and like all the trimmings.
Oh, wow.
And by all the trimmings, it was 1 Yorkshire pudding.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, Cheshire Park did do hot dogs for 50p with a classic sausage. And I think they got the kids to sort of cook them as well. So it was like a weird experience. You're buying sausages.
That would make me less likely to want to eat it if I found out a child had cooked it.
I quite liked them though. Probably would got me a bit fatter.
My favourite school dinner, Yes bar and a can of Coke. Yeah.
Amazing. Bong Lung says... Oh, were you about to...
No.
Sorry. Bong Lung says, what is your favourite bit of smoke? Wizard's Compass. A particularly good strain of skunk. Monster Munch, that turn your tongue blue. Old school crisp and prawn cocktail, what's this?
Yeah.
Is that a statement that he's saying?
I think so, yeah.
Skips were my favourite crisp as a kid.
I always miss something that I missed out on was the vanilla milkshake flavour Monster Munch.
Yeah, I've
Gutted
heard
about
of them, but
Gutted.
yeah, nothing like Skips. Favourite bit of smoke? There's nothing good around at the minute, to be fair.
Marijuana. Russian James says, wow, where to start? Best corner shop food.
Corner shop
freezers,
food,
isn't it?
I remember 1p blackjacks and fruit salads.
Oh, yeah.
Those were probably what I used to load my pockets with.
Yeah.
I remember half penny sweets.
Half pennies don't exist, Stu.
Half-penny sweets.
There's
Yeah.
a thing as a half penny.
Well, so you got 2 for a penny.
Yeah.
That's actually cheaper than it's possible to buy. You had to buy 2.
What was it?
Well, no, because there used to be a half penny.
Sorry, the half-penny was around when you were little.
Yeah, a half penny went maybe like 84 or something.
What?
Yeah.
I thought that was way older than that.
No.
Oh my god. So you could just buy one.
Yeah. 1984. Half
The
penny.
coin
was taken
itself
out in
sounds quite
1984.
sharp though. It wouldn't have that have 2 really sharp edges.
What?
The half penny wouldn't have 2 really sharp edges. Can you cut people with it?
Sure.
I think my dad was born in '68, and he tells me how he used to get 4 pence to go to the shop, like to buy sweets and stuff.
Madness, isn't it? Yeah, good old days. Yeah, I remember like bags of crisps used to be like 11.5p, stuff like that. Yeah, good times.
He said, "Is there a food you loved as a kid but hate now, or vice versa?" No, I bloody loved vice versa. So I'm glad they came back a few years ago.
Brilliant. As a child, we've talked about this before. I'd liked eggs as a child, and I did not like beer. I've done like a complete and utter 180-degree turn. Didn't like spicy food, anything spicy. Now I'm a spice monster.
Basically, your sort of food latitude and longitude is literally egg and beer.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, I didn't eat crisps as a kid much, but now can't get enough of them. Can wolf down like a 24-pack of Walkers in 2 days.
Brilliant. 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't try and compete with you, Stu.
He's also said, "And do you remember the amazing kids' chocolate bars at Thornton's?" I don't.
What?
Thornton's was out of my price range as a child.
Kids' chocolate bars at Thornton's?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
No.
And most popular sweets at your school? So like I said, fruit pastels, sugar-free polos, spearmint polos, and citrus sharp polos. It was all about polos, really.
Yeah.
Big bags of Haribo were mine.
Oh, actually.
I used to hit the shop before school, and my teachers would ask why I had no books with me, and it's because my bag was full of stuff intended to be sold, and it was always Haribos, cans of drinks.
Oh, amazing. You were an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
A lunch
Yeah,
entrepreneur.
started early. But yeah. So yeah, just selling stuff. People like cookies. There was a garage that used to sell fresh bagged cookies and stuff. And yeah, those would just make so much money. Those and cigarettes were my biggest sellers.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the other thing that was popular was cherry tunes and cherry airwaves, because they were the sort of the food that you were allowed to eat because you had a sore throat or whatever.
Right. Like soothers and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cherry
The
drops.
teacher would be like, "Oh, you don't eat sweets." They're like, "Oh, it's for my throat, miss."
Yeah, cherry drops. I remember cherry
Yeah.
drops. Cherry drops were pang. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought I've definitely got some at home.
Yeah. Sweet.
The Cookie Mill said, "Favorite meal." Oh, we've done that. Favorite pick and mix.
The
Coconut mushrooms. Okay.
cherry cola bottles.
Yeah.
Oh, fizzy
Fizzy
cherry cola
cherry
bottles.
cola bottles or the
Oh.
bubblegum ones.
Yeah.
I could
Oh,
just
yeah.
get those two.
That's pretty good, yeah. It's difficult. I really like getting a mixture, like making my own kind of revels.
Oh, yeah.
So chocolate-covered raisins, chocolate-covered toffee, chocolate-covered honeycomb. But sometimes you want your fizzy jelly sweets, and I don't think you can do both in one pick and mix.
Oh, that's
Are you a fan of like the strawberry pencils?
I am.
I like them, but I'll never get them in a pick and mix because one, they take up too much space.
Yeah.
They're the kind of thing you cram on top before you try and sit on the lid to get it shut.
If it's like a cup pick and mix, one of those like Candy
Yeah.
King cup ones rather than a weight one, yeah. Yeah, you
I
can...
don't know if when this is going out, but Wilco's currently got their half price pick and mix that they chuck out every now and again.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm gonna be hitting that soon.
Well, good. Thank you for telling me that, because I think I might go to the cinema tomorrow morning and we'll hit Wilco's on the way then.
Oh, that's a nice
Yeah.
little rub it in, innit? Yeah,
Yeah.
because we're not going to the cinema anymore. So
Yeah. I mean, I will be going to see whatever like 3-month-old kids film is on Movies for Juniors. So it's not.
Hotel Transylvania for free.
Oh,
Oh no,
I'll be quite
no.
happy with Hotel Transylvania 3.
I don't think that's even out yet, is it?
I think it's out. Yeah, I think so. He's also said chocolate birthday cake or vanilla birthday cake.
Vanilla.
Chocolate.
Vanilla any day.
Yeah,
I'm not a
vanilla.
fan of chocolate cake.
Yeah, vanilla cake,
Yeah.
correct. And dream lunchbox combo.
Right, so what now or as a child?
Childhood, innit?
As a child, like the Dairy Lunchables, I'd have that. Like a 2-pack of mini jammy Dodgers, I'd always have. A Capri Sun.
Oh, yes.
Like a bit of fruit, like a apple or an orange, or like a bit of chopped up, like, what's the other one? Kiwi and stuff. I used to eat a lot of fruit as a kid, or grapes. Yeah, that was my typical lunchbox.
Let's ask you a question, right? Why do we all collectively call the Capri Sun a Capri Sun, right? The word C-A-P-R-I, how would you pronounce that word? For example, the holiday, Capri. So why don't we call it the Capri Sun? Why do we call it the Capri Sun? Collectively, I think we all do it.
How's the car spelt? Is it spelt the same?
Yeah. And that's the Ford Capri.
Yeah, but it just sounds unnatural.
The Capri Sun.
Capri Sun.
Can I get a Capri Sun?
Does sound unnatural.
Capri
It sounds like you're referring to the person as son.
Yeah. Can I get a Capri Sun? This is a corner shop, not a second-hand car dealership from the 1980s. Son. Yeah. Weird,
I had one of those small sub-containers of Pringles, and I had a particularly nice one that I think had glitter in. So I think any school day where I had Pringles was a nice treat. I seem to remember the Jaffa Cake snack packs as well.
Yeah.
Don't really remember having anything too amazing.
Yeah, I think Lunchables was a pretty solid one, or like ham sandwiches that you'd squash them down, so the bread was super flat.
I used to like KP chipsticks. No, mini chips they were called. They were like a very thin, hard, crisp snack. I used to make KP mini chip sandwiches. Oh. I'd take an unbuttered bread bun and take a bag of mini chips and make the sandwich in situ at school. Things like, used to often take a yogurt, for example, a Shamborsi hippopotamus. Do you remember the Shamborsi hippopotamus? No, it's great.
Really know.
Yeah, Shamborsi hippopotamus. The manufacturer was Shamborsi.
But it was actually cool.
The product was hippopotamus. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
The Shamborsi hippopotamus. Can't believe you
You're
don't know
saying it so much it doesn't sound like a word anymore.
Literally saying it so many times.
Yeah.
Did you guys do swaps at school?
No.
No?
Nah.
Oh, no, yeah, swaps.
No.
I'll swap my dessert for your Capri Sun and stuff.
No. Take what you want.
Yeah.
In the first place, you know. Swaps for a lunchbox amateur.
Yeah. Mungy Stuff said, what was your break time / tuck shop favourite? So I'm going to go with the cookies from Romsey High School. We had a tuck shop at school. I can't remember what. Like giant strawberries. Do you remember them? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe giant strawberries was something that would happen. Like giant versions of giant cola bottles, giant strawberries, and then it's back to the it's back to the Yes Bar and can of Coke.
I don't know, if I was getting something from the canteen, it was usually a slice of pizza or a cookie. Pretty much typical.
Yeah. Things like that didn't exist when I was at school. There was no kind of... I think there was maybe toast at break time. But there wasn't this... Like at school where I work now, like kids can go at break time and get a panini. They can go and get a pizza. They can get, all sorts of stuff.
One I remember was it would be a big sort of tub of just pasta, and then you could get whatever sauce you wanted on it. Whether it was like just a tomato sauce for the vegetarians, or just a meat sauce, and that was probably my favourite thing to get for lunch because it was just pasta, which I just was addicted to. Couldn't get enough of carbs growing up.
And they've also said, do you remember pickled onion discos?
Nope.
Pickled onion Monster Munch, I know, but discos, no.
Yeah, I don't think discos really came in the flavour that I go for. Two Pudding Tandy said, which one flavour of Panda Pop would you bring back? Candy floss. I only say that because the jelly and ice cream is already available in different I
only remember like Cherryade, Panda Pop and Cola and Lemonade, really. Yeah,
I never had Panda Pops. Never.
Wow.
Well, I don't know that I never had Panda Pops. I probably have had a Panda Pop, but I don't have any like fond memory of them. So they were Panda Pops were crap. Isn't that the point of Panda Pops? They were cheap.
Yeah, they were the cheap, not so good versions of.
But where else can you get cotton candy flavour soda? Well, yeah, nowhere.
I preferred like bar and stuff, the bar sodas, the cream soda and stuff. That's more what I associate with drinking from like the corner shop and whatnot.
Woolworths mini cans, Dr. Looney's. What?
I had as you know, I had one of the signature Subway wraps for my lunch on Friday, and I had a can of soda, a soft drink. Which soft drink? This wasn't from Subway. I bought this from the bargain booze near my house. Which can of soft drink did I choose to have with my Subway signature wrap?
Tizer.
Incorrect.
Fanta?
Incorrect. It was K.A. Fruit Punch. Absolute convert.
Oh, wow. You're
But-
fully on board now?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Have you had
Correct.
the
So
cream
good.
soda?
Pardon?
So good.
Have you had the KA cream soda?
I don't believe I have.
It's not good.
Oh,
Don't try it. It's not good. It's go elsewhere for your cream soda.
I'll swerve that then. But yeah, fully on board with K.A. Fruit Punch now. Like,
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah. Basically the best soda in the UK.
it's very good.
Correct. They've also said favourite 90s flavour of skips. Donut, pizza, rib, pickled onion or sweet corn relish.
I think I just like the original, to be fair.
Don't like skips, so
I can't believe there was donut flavour skips.
that-
Donut.
I don't like prawn cocktail flavoured things, so have never eaten.
Ah,
I
it's
don't
not a thing,
believe
is it?
I've ever eaten skips, so I would never have
What?
tried any of this like random flavours of them.
Mental.
That is, yeah. If you get a chance to look at it,
Found
the
them, yeah.
packaging is ridiculously 90s.
It was Reboot, the animated series Reboot themed.
All right.
Wow. Amazing.
That's something I remember a lot. That doesn't seem so big now. Is sort of cartoon tie-ins with snacks and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not such a thing now, I don't think. Or maybe it's because I'm not exposed to as much children's television, but it doesn't. Yeah, it's not something I notice as much. But as a kid, every product had like a cartoon character to go with it, either from an existing program or they dreamt one up.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not familiar with Reboot.
You don't know what that is?
No, but I'm looking at the Skips packet now, and that artwork reminds me of Mike Allred. Do you know Mike Allred, the comic artist?
Silver Surfer artist.
Yeah, I wonder if he did that artwork.
Yeah, possible.
Yeah, feasible, I suppose.
Let's just, for the folks at home, let's search Mike Allred and let's see if a picture of Silver Surfer comes up. Well, guys.
I mean, this is top podcasting, this, isn't it? Whilst we...
It didn't come up straight away, but it did come
No,
up.
yeah. Obviously, I know Mike Allred from Ecstatics.
Statics, yeah.
Yes, correct.
And he, she, I assume Tandy is a she. She's also said, did you hear the playground rumour that Sunny D had pig semen in? Yes, it was the only reason I drank it.
I've never heard that.
I've not heard that rumour. I've heard others. There was ones that they stopped doing blue Smarties because they had drugs in. This was like the playground rumour, and nobody
Yes.
ever knew what drugs. They were just drugs. Drugs was just a thing. They came in
Brilliant.
little bottles that just said drugs on the
Sort
side.
of true,
There was-
isn't it? Because
yeah.
it was because of the illegal colouring.
And it was also like people used to say, "Don't take sweets off strangers." And I'm not saying this isn't a bad idea. Don't ever take sweets off strangers. But as you get older, you realise that junkies aren't just going around giving out sweets to children. It's not a thing that I've ever experienced. But yeah, don't take that as advice. Like, it doesn't mean that I condone taking sweets from strangers. We had a very nice old lady that lived near us that used to give us jelly babies, and our mum would always tell us off for taking them off her. But
Brilliant.
if this 90-year-old woman was handing
Payback.
out drugs, she had some ulterior motives, clearly. The other rumour I remember was so stuff like Monster and stuff has taurine in it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which sounds like Taurus, which is to do with like bulls and stuff. So people made the connection that it must have bull semen in it.
The connection is that taurine is from bull semen.
It actually is, Sam, yeah.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
this something that
Yeah, no,
wasn't just a rumour?
No, yeah, it's not exactly true. Like bull semen isn't in it, but taurine is in bull semen.
So they have a common ingredient. It's not.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not derived from bull semen. They just
No.
have a common ingredient.
Correct.
Fair enough.
Yes, that is actually almost born
It's like
entirely in truth.
war's got people in it because they both got water in.
AJ Rogers 92 has said, "Do you remember the strawberry and cream Campino sweets
Oh,
that they
yes.
discontinued? Crime
Yes.
that they stopped making them here. That was an absolutely colossal release.
I remember they actually branded them as like good for you, that they were good for your teeth. I remember that being a thing.
Were they a sugar-free thing?
Sugar-free or something?
Yeah, they were sugar-free, so they branded them as good for your teeth, and then they used to hand them out to dentists, so that when you'd leave the dentist, they'd be in the dentist waiting room. I remember this really specifically. And they were branded as like sugar-free, so not good for your teeth, so good for your teeth. And then I think when people started to realise that sweeteners still have an effect on your teeth, they sort of probably dipped in sales, because I think that was their main sort of marketing as their sort of healthy sweet product. But you can still get sort of knockoff versions in Aldi and stuff that are probably just as good as I remember. The strawberry and cream ones from Aldi, really good. And sugar-free.
Campino actually came back a couple of years ago, I think.
Did it?
I think it did, yeah.
Don't
First
think it
page.
did.
The Sun. Campino sweets are back.
That'll be some
Clickbait.
fake.
No,
thing.
you can buy them from Amazon. That'll be what it is.
Nate Peterson, don't know who that is.
No, never heard of him.
Said, "What's your childhood favourite?" I think we'll just skip over that one. It's just sarcastic. Luke C99, Mars Delight. We've spoken about that. White Maltesers, they were good.
Sam, you love White Maltesers, didn't you?
For the very brief time that I remember them, and it's just the tragedy that my two favourite things, Maltesers and white chocolate, have gone potentially forever.
Yeah.
Here's one of the actual best products that actually, out of all the things that are discontinued, this is in my top, maybe one, top three. Milky Bar Chew.
What?
Don't remember it.
So, imagine a Cadbury fudge, but the fudge is white chocolate and the outside is white chocolate.
All right, now I'm upset.
They were, but better than that. They were just absolutely amazing. White chocolate flavour fudge in white chocolate. It was honestly, that is very, very bad that they're not around.
Crazy.
Cadbury Tasters. Now, I think you can still get them in somewhere because I see them. I do see. They were like little balls, aren't they?
Yeah. Weren't they?
When I read that, I thought it was like the Misfits, but
Oh yeah.
no, those would be different, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Typical childhood day in the diet. I'm not 100% sure this.
Toast for breakfast, whatever they were serving up at school for lunch, and then like something with either pasta or mash for dinner was pretty much 6 days a week.
Yeah. Cereal for breakfast. Super Mousse for breakfast afters.
Childhood cereals, best cereal, I think.
God, yeah. Cornflake light reflectors.
I used
Kellogg's did corn pops. They were good for a little while.
Oh, I remember them, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to like
Corn Pops
Ricicles with loads of extra sugar on them. Anything. Weetabix with about 3 millimeters of sugar on top of them. Anything with a lot of sugar on it for me.
Yeah, a lot of Weetabix, I remember. Weetabix for like fruit and stuff was something my mum tried to push us into, but it ended up being just going for the Cocoa Pops or Frosties.
I was never a Cocoa Pops fan. Rather Frosties, yeah. Crunchy Nut Cornflakes, they were great. Yeah.
Yeah, see, Crunchy Nut is one of the ones I used to hate,
Yeah.
and that's something that I love now. It's probably my most common breakfast cereal.
Crazy. Any more social media questions, Michael Jameson?
Got a few more. The two more. This one's a sad state of affairs that we're discussing this on a childhood favourites episode. Joe Camp says Galaxy truffles in celebrations.
Oh.
Has it really been so long that we've been missing them that...
7 years. 2011 they took out the Galaxy Truffle.
Is it that long ago?
sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is
I mean, it's
sad.
I don't feel like it's affected me as I didn't know.
It's not a childhood favourite, but it was the second best celebration.
After
the Maltesers
Galaxy
teaser.
Caramel.
No, after the Maltesers teaser.
Yeah, teaser's good. Teaser's good.
The best, so... yeah, it's a shame. It is a shame. It's ridiculous as well. It must have just been too expensive to produce.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Because it was, everyone liked it. It was great.
You certainly wouldn't have the situation they have these days where you've got an entire tub full of Bounty.
No, you wouldn't. Correct.
And our last question this week this fortnight is Musings of Mills says best childhood food advert, so we've done that, or a few memorable ones at least. We've done it, covered it. So thank you guys for all the comments. Leave your comments in our next little thumbnail that we'll post in a couple of weeks.
Wow, it's worth mentioning that the next episode of FRUK Unwrapped will be rather special because I will not be involved at all for the first time. I'm losing my 100% attendance award.
It should be the best episode, I guess.
I imagine it'll be amazing. I cannot wait to listen to it. It should be incredible. I cannot wait. Yes.
I'll boycott it for your sake.
Thank you, Sam.
I only tune in for you.
Yeah, correct. Correct. It's probably worth mentioning that rumours of our demise have obviously been. We're obviously wrong. We're not calling it a day.
Yes. Yeah.
Despite a large number of people protesting us releasing a podcast.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
I was scared for a little while. I mean, I read the comment about 4 hours before I was supposed to leave to come here. I thought that was it. I thought I was just going to turn up and be let down. But no. I've made a podcast. I'm proud. I'll tell my mum.
Brilliant. Well, it's been fantastic having you on, Sam. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah.
I hope have you had any news on your cinema? Is the cinema open?
No, not open.
Totally. Fans are in the mud.
So we moved the podcast recording to 5:30 so that you could go to the cinema, and now you're not going to the cinema.
Yeah, because the shithole of Aylesbury strikes again. No matter what happens, something always goes wrong in Aylesbury, and it grinds the whole fucking town to a halt. And I hate it.
Crazy. Which cinema is it? Odeon?
Yeah.
Yeah, joke.
And they have a message from...
Yeah, by the way, they have not sent us a message to say it's not happening.
They haven't told you. You only know because Rich...
People will turn up and find out is what's going to happen.
Yeah, because I to be fair, this is a very big situation because apparently the whole road is flooded and, like, for example, Claire's work had to be evacuated, all this, because they couldn't flush toilets and all this kind of thing. It's a health and safety thing. So I've found out from like 3 sources, but if I had just come straight home, buggered around playing games and whatnot, I would have just headed straight out and I wouldn't know. And for Odeon to not send an email is absolutely terrible customer service.
Yeah, joke. That's why I only endorse the Light Cinemas chain. Are you familiar with the Light?
Oh, I'm not.
Oh, sociable cinema.
Is that the one you're running out of your lounge?
Yeah. It's where people just come and sit on my sofa next to me and I give them a cuddle and we watch a film. No, the Light, it's amazing.
That's dreamy.
There are more than just... There's one near us at a place called Red Rock in Stockport, but they call it sociable cinema. You can take your own stuff in. You take your own foods and drinks. The seats are all huge and they all recline. And they come with little tables and stuff. You've got loads of leg room. It's a little bit cheaper than a normal cinema too. And there's no downside to it whatsoever, other than they might not be as widespread as you might like. There's definitely one. We were in Leeds last weekend, and there was one there. So they are up and down the country. There's one in Bradford, there's one in Cambridge, and that might be it.
Up and down the country,
yeah, I
one
like
up,
how
one
you
down.
class those as fairly spread.
Thetford,
brilliant.
That's in Ipswich. No, there are Light cinemas around, but yeah. Oh, here we go. Bolton, Cambridge, Sheffield, Thetford, Wisbech, Bradford, New Brighton, Stockport, and Walsall. So they're not totally all around the country yet. I'm sure there was one in Leeds. I'm absolutely certain there was one in Leeds when I went there. It's not.
Do you consider Leeds south, like fairly south part of the country?
No.
I thought that's what you were.
No, it's more northern than me. Cambridge is south, though, isn't it?
Yeah, fairly.
Yeah, I don't know where Wisbech is, but yeah, there's one there as well.
Never heard of that one.
No.
Sounds made up.
Anyway, anyone who's listening, go to Light. It's a well better cinema than Odeon or Cineworld or anything else. It's brilliant. Love it. Absolutely recommend it. Fantastic cinema experience. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, guys. Thanks to Sam for coming on.
It's been fun.
Thank you, man. Be back in 2 weeks without me, but with a whole plethora of guests and the return of Nathan Peterson. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you in a month, but you will have the FRUK Unwrapped podcast in 2 weeks.
Hopefully, anyway, because it'll be down to Nate and I to sort of edit it. So,
I mean, that's going to be hilarious, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not gonna air, is it?
Better do, because I'm going to listen to it on my way back from holiday.
Correct. Have a bloody good holiday.
Cheers, Mum. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you, Sam. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.